are you saying Holly Willoughby should be sacked? Yes or no?
I think she should step away of her own accord. Do it classy.
Okay, so she's got to leave. Either way, she's got to leave. Whether she's pushed or whether she bows out classily, she's got to go.
Potentially, yes.
Potentially. Good grief. Welcome to another edition of the Showbiz Showdown with me, JJ Anisiobi, and let's get straight into this one. Today's big question, is This Morning dead? Yep, the ITV1 show lost big time at the NTAs, and I'm kind of here for it, to be honest. I think it's time to refresh that show completely. Helping me decide today, from The Sun on Sunday, we have Showbiz editor Hannah Hope. Hannah, welcome.
Hello.
So you were actually at the NTAs this week. I heard that there was booing when Holly Willoughby was seen on camera, when This Morning was listed as one of the nominees. People were booing. Is this true or false?
So one of the biggest awards of the NTAs is Best Daytime Show. Just to put it into perspective, This Morning has won every year for the past 12 years. They even survived Q-Gate when Philip and Holly famously skipped the queue.
Yep.
This year, when, as you say, when they flashed on all of the different nominees. And all of the teams, when Holly and Alison Hammond came onto camera, there were boos that were loudly heard throughout the O2, which was really cringy. And then we basically felt, having been in the auditorium, we knew that they weren't going to win. And it was the repair shop that scooped the award for the first time ever. And the repair shop, I feel like, is actually not even a daytime show. I think it's on in the evening. But anyway, I like Jay Blade, so I'm happy for them. But it really does show that the public has listened to the scandal surrounding This Morning, Philip Schofield leaving, seeing how Holly has taken the show on herself. A lot of people think that actually she's been quite cold, and I think that they've had enough. They are fed up of this fake facade on camera and the rumours of toxicity behind the scenes.
Yeah, so last year when they had Q-Gate, was it only last year? Yes, it was last year, Q-Gate.
A year ago. The
voting had already closed by the time Q-Gate had come out, right? And when then Holly and Phil were booed at the NTAs last year, and I recall being told that because ITV, essentially the ones who run the NTAs, they were then turned on the speakers of fake cheering to try and drown out the boos. But there was no fake cheering this year.
No, and I didn't know, actually, watching it from home. I wonder if they had maybe drowned out some of the booing. I can imagine you would do that, wouldn't you? Because it was being broadcast on ITV, so you don't want to kind of throw your own show down the river. But yeah, it did feel quite awkward. I noticed that Holly and Alison put on very fake smiles, and actually it was quite sweet when Jay Blade, who is the repair shop kind of frontman, won. He ran and gave Holly a big hug, so everyone was very gracious and fake TV about it. But also, they didn't win Best Presenter either, because I think a lot of people thought Alison Hammond might win Best Presenter. Holly Willoughby was snubbed from even being nominated. But no one can take on the great Anton Deck. Not even you, sadly. One day, who knows? It would be great for you to steal their crown. But they won for a 22nd year in a row. So yeah, This Morning left empty-handed. And this will really be affecting, I think, decision makers at the top of ITV. They are really throwing a lot of money into this brand. They're trying to relaunch it. But, can it survive?
Well, surely the answer is just to get rid of Holly, right? I feel like the public love Alison Hammond. I'm not sure Alison is the world's greatest presenter yet, but people like her. They buy into her. She seems authentic. As you say, it feels fake This Morning. So is it time for Holly to get the boot? Is the only way for This Morning to be saved is for Holly to be sacked?
Well, it's a really good point, because a lot of people do think this. If you go on Twitter when This Morning is on, I mean, sometimes I kind of just do it for fun, just to see what people... I mean, trolls are always... No one's going to tweet anything nice, but people are really vicious about Holly. Yeah. And you think, gosh, is she really that hated? And it's interesting, but I do wonder if someone does need to say, look, we need a complete rebrand. We need someone else to kind of take it on with Alison Hammond. I know Josie Gibson is also really popular, former Big Brother star. But I don't know, Holly is really revered within ITV. She's literally the queen there. So I can't see them getting rid of her. I really can't.
Well, she was off on holiday for what felt like
8 weeks.
Yeah, it was the longest holiday ever. But when she came back, the viewing figures dropped for her big comeback. Surely this is a sign that the viewers are speaking by switching channel now.
absolutely. You're completely right. And actually, Eamon and Ruth, who used to present on a Friday before Eamon got sacked, they always said that their viewing figures on a Friday were higher than Philip and Holly's. So it is really telling. I don't know. I mean, I find Holly actually really pretty to watch. I like to see what she wears. As I like to follow fashion. So I remember even when she was doing I'm a Celebrity with Deck, when Ant was off in rehab. We don't talk about that anymore. But I remember thinking, I quite like the element of seeing what outfit she's going to wear. So I quite like her visually on screen. But is she the best presenter? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't think she's a great presenter, and I think Phil, essentially, what I'm seeing now is that Phil carried that show and carried her. That's how it feels.
Yes.
She was I could watch her more with Phil. Now I'm kind of bored watching her.
And then with her and Alison, because like you say, Alison is really warm, she's really genuine. But sometimes it feels, when you're watching something, especially when you're relaxing, you want to feel like you're in safe hands. You don't always feel like you're in the safest hands. You're thinking, is this train just going to go off the tracks at any point? I don't know, which is quite fun. But I don't know, sometimes if it's just on in the background, you just want it to be kind of ticking over.
So how do you think Philip Schofield is feeling? He's sat at home, he's sitting there smug, surely thinking, told you, it's a toxic place. People believe me now.
Well, it's really interesting that you should say that, because he famously unfollowed Holly on Instagram, which is the biggest diss anyone can ever make yesterday. And I bet he is probably feeling a little bit left out, because that was his biggest night of the year. He's been going to the NTAs for literally decades.
Yeah.
But he will be feeling smug. Absolutely. He's going to be thinking, I held my hands up. I admitted that I did wrong and I stepped away. I not only stepped away from this morning, I said I will never work on ITV again. And now the dominoes are falling. So, yeah.
Here's what I think is going to happen. I think Phil's going to get a job somewhere else. I think we're not seeing the last of him. I think he's a fantastic broadcaster and we need to see him back. I don't believe in cancel culture, but I do think that if Phil has gone from this morning, Holly has to go, because I see Holly, all I think of is Philip Schofield.
Yeah, I agree. And I also think that, we've seen her do This Morning for such a long time. Let someone else have a go. She's earned so much money. I mean, she's on over like almost $1 million a year, not to mention all of her Marks and Spencer's brand campaigns. She's got her Wild Moon website now. I mean, surely she just wants to go and put her feet up.
So, is This Morning dead, or is it savable?
I think that it can be saved. The format is a magazine show and it's really relaxing. They have them in America, they have them in Australia. So I don't think the format is dead. I just think it might need some tweaks.
By tweaks, are you saying Holly Willoughby should be sacked? Yes or no?
I think she should step away of her own accord. Do it classy.
Okay, so she's got to leave. Either way, she's got to leave. Whether she's pushed or whether she bows out classily, she's got to go.
Potentially, yes.
Potentially. Good grief. Well, Hannah, thank you so much. Let us know your thoughts. Leave a comment below. Should Holly step back? Is that the only way to save This Morning? Or can it keep on going with her at the helm? Let us know. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.